It's Fonger News of the Student Manager, and we're live at Mater Dei's College Career Night, and we're with GCU, Grand Canyon University, Jessica Hagerty, who's the regional counselor, and then we have a Mater Dei alum, 2016, Francesca Brown. And did you graduate GCU?
I did, yes. In April of 2020 with a bachelor's in pre-med and a minor in psychology.
Wow. Okay, so back then, GCU probably wasn't even on the map.
We definitely were. We have been Division I for 10 years now in sports, so I already knew about them, seen a lot of their commercials, so I already knew who they were.
The best commercials, and I'm going to get right into it. Was GCU your number one option?
No, it wasn't. And a lot of kids would tell you that. A lot of people have a misconception about what GCU is. And so I did all of my tours. I didn't want to go to GCU. I didn't want to visit GCU. Jessica was my missions counselor. And at the time, my parents were big on GCU. They wanted me to go there. They liked the Christian aspect. They liked how far it was from them.
Right.
Visited other colleges, didn't like anything else. Visited GCU, fell in love, registered about a month later, and it was easy peasy.
So what else were you considering?
I was considering Boise State, Baylor, Northern Colorado, Sacramento. I was being recruited for Akron Tumbling in Tennessee at a small school called King University.
Okay.
And visited all of them. Didn't like any of them.
So it's a Christian school. I'm going to ask you, is it really religious there? I mean, you came from a Catholic school here at Mater Dei. How religious is it?
Yes, and I was worried about that my freshman year. And I just think it was a common insecurity that a lot of students do have. While it is religious, it's not just a one-sided religion or worldview. And I liked how free it was. We didn't have to go to chapel. We didn't have to do all these things. So
right.
The fact that it was an option made me want to do it more. And we only have one required Christian worldview class that students have to take. And we don't have to sign a statement of faith, which just added to my opportunities. I wanted to go to things because I wasn't obligated to do so.
One thing you did not like about GCU. Let's talk about the bad now.
Okay. I do burn, and the sun was not my friend, and I don't look good in purple. Purple is not my favorite color. If I could change it, I probably would, but it is GCU. It is our color. So
that's not bad. If the school colors is something bad and the heat is that,
yes,
and you're coming from Southern California.
Yes, I can't really find anything else that I didn't love. Some of the bricks I can't skateboard on. I ate it a lot of the time.
Okay, did you live in the dorms?
I did. I lived on campus all 4 years. My freshman year in dorms and my last 3 years in apartments.
How was dorm life?
Perfect. It was comfortable. I felt like an adult. I was independent. No communal restrooms, so I only shared a bathroom with my immediate roommate.
Okay.
And the apartments have a full kitchen, so it was great.
What about, were you in a sorority life, Greek life?
We don't have Greek life on campus, but that doesn't mean there's not ways to get connected, meet people, make friends.
So how did you build your community? What did you join? Any clubs?
Yes, I joined Love Your Melon, which advocates for cancer in childhood. So we'd go and visit children that have cancer, and we bring them beanies and we'd raise money for them. And I also joined the pre-vet club. I did every intramural sport except for basketball because I'm 5'3" and basketball and I are not friends.
But did you go to a basketball game?
Of course I did. That's also how you make friends. So every student has to go to one.
Is it a bucket list? I mean, I want to go to a GCU and watch a basketball game. What's the atmosphere like?
Take an Advil first and after before you go to bed. You'll wake up with a headache. It is so much fun. It's wild. It's crazy. There's always screaming. There's always chanting. It's just so much fun. And that's why we're ranked number one for basketball as a party school for Basketball Party by ESPN.
So let's talk about that party school. Can you find parties out there? I mean, it's a Christian school. You're coming from Mater Dei, and you could keep this PG rated, whatever. Because I want to know, like, if I'm a student, am I going to be able to find definition of partying there?
Yes, that would be any university. So while we are a dry campus, you can go off campus. You can find whatever you want to find. We're relatively close to some bars. Once you turn 21, you can go and have some fun there. But while you're there, you can kind of find those people, and if you want to go, there's no rules against it.
Favorite restaurant?
Ooh, that's hard. I am a huge foodie. I will have to say Joyride. I love their tacos, dessert, drinks, everything.
What is it called?
Good. Joyride.
Joyride. Okay.
It's on Camelback, and it's not too far from GCU. Yeah.
If Mr. and Miss Brown are in town, where are they taking you and your friends to dinner?
The big one was Oregano's. It's an Italian restaurant. They have the best pasta, and they're known for their pizookies. So you might know pizookies from BJ's, but theirs are better. Theirs are more deep dish, better ice cream. It's so good.
Late night munchies. You're out late and you're like, I'm hungry. Where are we eating?
There is this Mexican restaurant across the street. It's called Federico's, and they have carne asada fries. So they put carne asada, sour cream, guacamole, cheese, the whole shebang on top of French fries. And that is my favorite study food. If I'm up late and I'm like, ooh, they're open 24 hours, I have to go get some fries.
What about waking up, maybe a long night of partying, maybe hungover? Where are we eating breakfast?
On campus.
You like this, huh, Jessica?
On campus, I would say Chick-fil-A breakfast is my favorite. I like those little chicken minis. If it's a Sunday, I'm saying Qdoba. We would have to go and get some breakfast burritos.
All right, let's turn it over to Jessica.
Yes, of course.
All right, Francesca, you did a great job as a alum from Mater Dei talking about GCU. Jessica, how's this event going tonight?
It's great. It's a little smaller than normal, but we've had some really great students come and speak to us that are really interested in GCU, which is great.
What are you selling as a regional counselor about GCU? If I'm walking by, how are you going to differentiate yourself from the other universities, especially like ASU or University of Arizona?
What I always tell students is there's so many great schools out there, and I loved college, and so I love my job and I love talking about college. And I always say what I think makes GCU different, a couple different things, especially for California students, is nothing's impacted. You can definitely graduate in 4 years or less. But as far as the environment, or if you're comparing sort of...
Francesca, while she's talking, because we do everything live, you got to video film us.
Yes, of course.
Okay, go ahead.
So if you're comparing us to like a large state school or something like
Yes.
that, I would say you're definitely going to have that on-campus environment that's lacking at a lot of larger state schools. Because we're private, we're the most expensive option for Arizona kids, so we're over 65% out of state. So I work with all California kids, so I'm working with out-of-state kids, and I went out of state for school, so I'm a huge proponent of going out of state for school. And you want to go to a school out of state that is not a state school necessarily, because all those kids are going to be from that state. It's really easy to get home. When you're at a school, we're over 65% out of state. A lot of your friends are going to be from Colorado, Washington, Chicago, Texas. It's easy for California kids to get home, but majority of those kids are going to be on campus 7 days a week, and our campus is thriving 7 days a week.
How many kids from Southern California are GCU? Like from most of our audiences here, Mater Dei, Newport Harbor High School, CDM, Orange County. How many go there a year?
That's a really great question. I would probably say, just from Orange County area alone, I would say probably over 300 to 500 just in Orange County, and then including San Diego up to Northern California, I would say probably thousands.
What's the average ACT to get in?
24.
24. Do you hear that, audience? You don't have to go to UCLA, USC, Cal, Stanford, because those are all the sweatshirt brands, right? We got GCU, 24 ACT. What's the average unweighted GPA?
3.5, although I do want to mention we are test optional, and I know a lot of colleges are doing this year, but we have always done that. We actually value GPA more. So the higher your GPA, the more scholarships you'll receive.
And if there's something to give advice to students out there during this whole college search and admission process, what would it be?
I would say you have to go visit schools. I was in love with schools in my head, and although nowadays kids have so many more resources, they have Instagram, you can follow colleges and watch on YouTube. When I was in school, we had like one website page, and I'm like, I love that building. And then I would go and visit that school, and I'm like, well, there's that building, but I hate the rest of the school. So I think just visiting is so important, and go on a normal day. You want to see a campus on a normal day. Don't go on preview days. Right. It's so important to eat the food, see the dorms, and just see a campus on a normal day, and even go on a weekend and see if it's a ghost town. If you're looking out of state, you don't want to go to a college that's going to be a commuter feel.
And one last question to parents out there that put so much pressure on their kids about this whole search and admission process. What would you say to the parents?
I would say no matter what college your kid goes to, they're going to be fine. And I was so stressed out my senior year about where to go, and it was so much easier back then. And now looking back, if I would have gone to like my top 6 schools, I would have loved it. All of my friends and I went to all different schools. We all did great. We all have great jobs. I always ask employers too, do you even look at where your kid went or where the applicants went to college? And they're like, no. It's really in who you know and who you are and your experience.
There you have it. Jessica Hagerty representing Grand Canyon University in Phoenix, and our video filmer, photographer, Francisca Brown. Thank you very much. Fonger News of the Student Manager out.